Welcome to Steve's Data Modeling, from Picklists to infinity and beyond. Hi, I'm Steve Simpson, and I'm going to take you through the use of Picklists. There are many situations where Picklists are the best option. However, there are some use cases where you need to go beyond Picklists and look at other data modeling choices. And I'm going to walk you through some of those scenarios. So when you have a field that could have a set of fixed values, you need to choose between a set of discrete values. A Picklist is your best choice. And if you think that those set of values might be used in more than one place, then you're going to create a global value set. This offers a very clean user experience. However, it requires an elevated admin capability to add values. 2, you're going to have to be deploying these new values through your metadata, through your sandboxes. And 3, if you do get these values coming from a third-party system like an integration, and they add a value without first adding it in Salesforce, then what's going to happen is you're going to get a data validation error. And so plus there may be some situations where based on a value you need a secondary field, and I'll explain that in a minute. So Picklists are a baseline for picking and choosing. So here I have 2 Picklists, global value sets. I have pipe size and pipe thickness. And if you see right here, I can click and I can see the values from 1/8, 1/4, 3/4, all the way up. And then if I go back, I can see pipe thickness. So this is a best practice for creating 2 value sets. What I'm going to do is have this plumbing object, and I have 2 Picklists, pipe size and pipe thickness, which each use the respective Picklist global value. If I come over here and I go into edit mode, I get very clean UI of my Picklists. So this is a best practice using the Picklists. Now, if you find that you're getting data values pushed through an integration, you can try to unrestrict the Picklist, or in some cases just make it a text field. But if you make it a text field, you lose your validation. So that would be writing 3/4, and then the users can type in anything they want, inches, comma, feet. So you never know the data you're going to get. So the first set right here, or the clean Picklist, these are 2 text values. So now let's go to another option. Option 3 is I could have a shared reference object. So this is a single object that can have multiple record types, and I can then do data loads instead of having to do deployments. And the only disadvantage is I'm creating 2 lookups, and the plumbing object would have lookups to the reference and not the actual values. So let's take a look at this. So I was on the plumbing project. I'll go to fields, and you'll now notice that I have a lookup to reference here and a lookup to reference here. So each of these are lookups, and these are lookups to the reference object. Okay, so now I go on to here, and that's this reference object. So you'll see I click, and now I'm getting a clean lookup. I have the values 3/8, 1/4, 1/8, 5/8, and 1/2. So you see my value set stops there. Now what I can do is I want to add 3/4. So this is on pipe size. So what I can do from here is look up the reference object, and I can hit new and create a new. It's allowing me to choose the pipe size. Now, this may not be a business user, but this could be through an integration or an elevated business user. Pipe size, and I go 3/4. So I'm adding this without being an admin, and I hit 3/4 inches and save. Now I come back to the project. I'm going to cancel and edit again. And you'll notice that on reference pipe size, 3/4 is now up there. So 3/4, a new value, has been added to the list. And I can easily adjust this to give the proper sequencing. and you'll see pipe thickness and pipe size. So what we have right here is the ability. Now, one thing we want to do is on the plumbing project, on these fields, this is pipe size, I'm going to edit it. And what I can do is add a lookup filter. And I can go to the lookup, record type, pick a record type. So this is pipe size. And I can say pipe size, insert selected, and save. And I'm going to go to the reference pipe thickness, edit it. This is a shared object, so I'm going to do a lookup filter. I'm going to go reference pipe thickness, record type, equals, right, not record type, let's come back. Current lookup is reference type thickness, record type, and I get this and this is thickness. Insert selected, save. Now I go back to editing my project. Hit edit. And now we'll see that I get the sizes and the thicknesses, which are different values here. So what I have is the ability to have, these are sharing the same object, but sharing it with a filtered lookup. There's 3/4, 3/8, and I can show that to myself by coming on a reference. I can come here to a reference object. We'll add a new dummy value, a pipe size, and we're going to call this as 6 feet. Okay, we're going to hit save. We're going to come back to the project. Reference pipe size. So I've refreshed the screen. I come to reference size, and now I see 6 feet as a reference pipe size. So I can add the value dynamically, and it's visible. And you'll see that that value is not in the thickness. So by having a lookup filter based on record type, I can share the same object and use it across multiple fields. Now, one derivation of this pattern is you have your reference object which contains the fields. You go ahead and on the plumbing project put just text fields. And if you have a Lightning Web component, you use the Lightning Web component to read the reference values and render it. This is if you're creating custom LWCs for your edit screens. That way you could then be storing the source object with the actual values, not lookups. However, this does require you to have the custom screens. So option 4 is a special case where you're using custom screens and you want to kind of hide the use of the reference object. Now, the final choice is if you find that these lookup values are growing in importance, you could create them as standalone concrete objects. Pipe thickness, pipe size, and just create 2 separate lookups. This is also an advantage where the data can be added dynamically. Your data model is very clean. And you could even have additional related fields on the pipe thickness object or the pipe size object. The disadvantage, just knowing that you have to do the data loads, knowing that the source object has a key, not the actual values. And if you're going to have 10 or 20 of these, it can complicate your object model. And let's take a look at that. So here I have 2 custom objects. You can see these 2 custom objects, pipe size and pipe thickness. And here I have fields, just some basic description, and I use the native name field. So 2 separate objects. I go to the project and you'll see them as actually doing lookups to the pipe size. And you'll see my ability to see the pipe sizes and lookups to the pipe thickness here. So this is a nice example of showing you out of the box pick lists for pipe size, 2 text fields without validation, the lookup to a reference pair of objects. This is the same object with filtered record types, or 2 separate lookups. And again, out of the box, but fixed. Text have no validations. The shared reference can give you the flexibility with the filtered lookup, or you can move to just your own 2 standalone objects. So I hope that was helpful. We can see our going from the standard pick list, going back to text fields, going to a shared reference object, or going to standalone lookup objects, and showing you the benefits. Hope this was helpful. Keep watching the SteveTechArc YouTube channel and the SteveTechArc.com. Thanks for joining and squeezing everybody brilliance that you can. Go ahead and subscribe and have a great day.